Welcome to Crime Story with Camila, where we dive deep into the most chilling and mysterious true crime cases. If you love real-life crime stories, make sure to like, subscribe, and share so you never miss an update. Your support helps us bring you the most in-depth investigations and untold stories. This is not just a story about love gone wrong. It's a tale of betrayal, obsession, and a crime that spanned multiple countries, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a grieving family desperate for justice. Anna was a woman full of ambition and compassion, seeking a fresh start when she mysteriously vanished in Madrid, Spain. What followed was an intense investigation that uncovered a dark and sinister plot, leading authorities straight to the person no one wanted to believe was responsible, her own husband. How did a seemingly normal marriage turn into a chilling crime scene? What evidence led investigators to their prime suspect? And most importantly, will justice be served? Stay tuned as we explore every detail of this harrowing case, from Anna's life before her disappearance to the shocking discoveries that followed. Anna Maria Knezevich was a woman full of ambition, intelligence, and kindness. Born in Colombia, she later became a naturalized U.S. citizen and built a life that many would admire. She was not just successful in her career, but also deeply committed to helping others, with dreams of making a real difference in the world. For over a decade, Anna was married to David Knezevich, a Serbian-born IT specialist. Together, they ran a successful tech consulting business and owned multiple real estate properties in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. On the surface, their marriage appeared stable, a partnership built on shared goals and financial success. But behind closed doors, things were not as perfect as they seemed. As time passed, cracks began to form in their relationship. While some friends and family members described them as a devoted couple, others noticed growing tensions. Anna, known for her vibrant and independent personality, had begun to feel trapped. By the end of 2023, their marriage was crumbling. In late December 2023, Anna Maria Knezevich made a bold decision. She packed her bags and left Florida, relocating to Madrid, Spain. For Anna, this move wasn't just about changing locations. It was about reclaiming her independence and building a new life away from a marriage that had become increasingly strained. She had high hopes for the future. Madrid, with its rich culture and vibrant energy, seemed like the perfect place for a fresh start. Anna wasn't just running away from her past, she was moving towards something meaningful. She had plans to start a non-profit organization dedicated to helping women who had suffered from domestic abuse, a cause she felt deeply passionate about. Despite the divorce proceedings with David, Anna remained optimistic. She stayed in close contact with friends and family, frequently sharing updates about her new life in Spain. She rented an apartment in the heart of Madrid and quickly adapted to her new surroundings. But as Anna settled into her new life, something ominous was happening behind the scenes. While she was focused on rebuilding, someone else was watching, someone who wasn't ready to let go. What should have been a fresh start for Anna would soon take a horrifying turn, leading to a crime that would shock both Spain and the United States. On February 2nd, 2024, Anna Maria Knezevich was seen for the last time. She had been living in Madrid for over a month, embracing her new life, making friends, and focusing on her personal and professional goals. But then, she vanished without a trace. Her sudden disappearance raised immediate concerns. Anna was known for being responsible and communicative. She stayed in touch with loved ones regularly, so when her messages stopped, red flags went up. Friends in Madrid, as well as family members in the US and Colombia, grew increasingly anxious. When calls and messages went unanswered, her loved ones knew something was terribly wrong. Days passed without any sign of Anna, and panic began to set in. Her friends in Spain reported her missing to the authorities, launching a desperate search to find out what had happened to her. As police began investigating, they uncovered disturbing information, evidence suggesting Anna's disappearance wasn't random. It wasn't a case of a woman simply choosing to disconnect. Something sinister had happened, and the truth would soon begin to unravel in the most chilling way possible. As soon as Anna Maria Knezevich was reported missing, Spanish authorities launched a full-scale investigation. Given that she had no history of disappearing and was actively building her new life in Madrid, foul play was suspected from the start. Police began tracing Anna's last known movements. They checked surveillance footage from her apartment building and nearby streets, looking for any clue about where she might have gone. Her phone records were analyzed, and interviews were conducted with those closest to her. Then, a chilling breakthrough emerged. Security camera footage from February 2nd, the day she vanished, captured Anna entering her Madrid apartment. But there was no footage of her ever leaving. This raised alarm bells. If she had never left on her own, then what had happened to her inside that apartment? As authorities dug deeper, they made a shocking discovery. Her estranged husband, David Knezevich, had flown to Madrid from Florida just days before she went missing. Records showed that David had rented a car upon arrival, and soon, even more disturbing evidence surfaced. David was seen on security footage entering Anna's apartment building. Hours later, he was captured on another camera loading a large suitcase into the trunk of his rental car. Shortly after, he was tracked driving to a remote location outside Madrid. This was no longer just a missing persons case. It was beginning to look like a meticulously planned crime. Authorities worked quickly, tracking David's rental car movements using GPS data. Their search led them to a forested area outside Madrid, and what they found there would confirm their worst fears. As Spanish authorities gathered overwhelming evidence against David Knezevich, they swiftly moved to apprehend him. On February 7, 2024, just days after Ana Maria Knezevich announced disappearance, David was arrested at Madrid Barajas Airport while attempting to board a flight back to the United States. With the evidence stacked against him, surveillance footage, GPS data, and forensic findings, David was formally charged with Anna's murder and the concealment of her body. He was immediately placed in pretrial detention as prosecutors built their case. During initial hearings, David denied involvement in Anna's death. He claimed he had traveled to Madrid simply to talk things over regarding their divorce. However, investigators had already uncovered damning details that contradicted his version of events. Surveillance footage showed David entering Anna's apartment, but Anna was never seen leaving. Forensic evidence from Anna's apartment suggested a violent struggle had taken place inside. Rental car records placed David near the remote wooded area where Anna's remains were later discovered. Search history on David's electronic devices revealed disturbing inquiries about body disposal and forensic detection. As the case moved forward, Spanish prosecutors pushed for the maximum sentence, arguing that David had meticulously planned Anna's murder and attempted to evade justice. Given that the crime occurred on Spanish soil, David would stand trial in Spain rather than be extradited to the United States. Anna's family and friends closely followed the legal proceedings, demanding justice for Anna. They described her as a strong, independent woman whose life was stolen by an act of pure cruelty. With such compelling evidence, the trial is expected to be one of the most high-profile international crime cases of 2024. Now, the world waits for the verdict. Will David Knezevich face the full consequences of his actions, or will justice be delayed? As of February 2025, David Knezevich remains in federal custody, awaiting trial for the alleged kidnapping and murder of his estranged wife, Ana Maria Knezevich. Despite overwhelming evidence, he has not yet been sentenced, as the legal process is still ongoing. In January 2025, federal prosecutors confirmed that they would not seek the death penalty against Knezevich. Instead, if convicted, he faces a maximum sentence of life in prison. His defense team continues to deny the allegations, but prosecutors have presented damning digital evidence, including internet searches related to body disposal and travel routes to Serbia. A significant new development in the case is the involvement of Knezevich's brother, Ugoljiza Knezevich, who has been accused of tampering with evidence and obstructing the investigation. Authorities claim Ugoljiza helped David by attempting to destroy potential evidence and mislead law enforcement. Currently, no trial date has been set, but prosecutors are building a strong case, arguing that David meticulously planned Anna's murder. The trial is expected to be one of the most high-profile international crime cases of 2025. Anna's family continues to demand justice, hoping for the maximum possible punishment. The world now watches as the case unfolds. Will justice be served for Ana Maria Knezevich now? The tragic murder of Ana Maria Knezevich is a chilling reminder of how dangerous domestic conflicts can become, even when a victim tries to escape. Ana had moved to Madrid for a fresh start, hoping to rebuild her life away from a toxic marriage. But instead of finding freedom, she fell victim to a premeditated act of violence at the hands of the man she once trusted. With David Knezevich awaiting trial and new evidence surfacing, the case continues to unfold, capturing international attention. The involvement of his brother, Ugoljiza Knezevich, raises even more questions about the extent of the cover-up and whether others may have helped in the crime. While Anna's family fights for justice, her story has also sparked broader conversations about domestic violence, stalking, and the dangers victims face even after leaving an abusive relationship. Advocates hope that her case will inspire stronger legal protections for women worldwide, ensuring that tragedies like this never happen again. As the legal proceedings move forward, one thing remains clear. Ana Maria Knezevich now deserves justice. The world now watches and waits, hoping that the man responsible for her brutal death will be held accountable and that Anna's legacy will not be forgotten.
Thanks for watching. For more interesting videos, please subscribe.